People watch reaction content just for two reasons. If they usually want to see your take on a certain topic, or they want to see how that video affects you. And if
Bros went from gaining 150 million.
I'm gonna roast myself for this reaction. Oh my god. I'm a reacting to a ReactTuber, okay.
Representing a decline of over 90% in only 36 months. What went wrong? The peak of their colossal sized failure would eventually occur in mid-2020. However, signs of impending doom first began in early 2016 when the Fine Bros attempted to trademark and copyright the entire reaction genre on YouTube. Well, kind of. I'm sure many of you remember the drama, right? It started with this video simply titled React World, in which the Fine Bros would frame an announcement in a way that sounded like, if you want to make any kind of reaction video for yourself on YouTube, the Fine Bros are now entitled to a cut of the revenue.
And all you people who are
I don't think that's accurate
videos anywhere in the world, well, by the way, we own you. In the terms, they own 50% of your brand deals, 60% of your rev share. You can't even post your video to Facebook, apparently, without their permission. That sounds like a great deal. Sign me up.
The Fine Bros would then go on to request that their audience not watch or support any other channel making reaction content.
And we implore everyone not to support those companies and channels. When you notice someone ripping someone's format off...
Yeah, but I think the reason... Okay, you guys are already hating on chat, but you know what? Let's just call down the hate, okay? Because, you know, we are also a reaction channel here. Technically on YouTube, we're not a gaming channel, even though we're a gaming channel on Twitch. We're a reaction channel on YouTube, okay? But moving along that is that you guys have to realize that these two were the pioneers of the reaction genre or content. If it wasn't for these two, reaction wouldn't be mainstream. And here's the thing about them is that the reaction is actually not just reaction. It's varied, it has quality in it, it's multiple people, it has like props, it has a good set. It's actually really good reaction content. The only problem that happened with them is that I think this was a bad move because they were trying to go big, they were trying to go balls deep, when they didn't actually realize that they were gonna make against the internet or in general, like, because people don't want rights to be taken from them, you know. And here's the other fact is that you have to realize that these two guys are just two guys in the internet, in YouTube specifically. A lot of people in this time of this video, I remember this, okay, because I used to think about this before I became a React Andy, was that they were fighting against like someone like Ellen. I don't know who Ellen is, but I think she's a big deal. Like, you know, late night shows who do reactions to. Like, you saw this massive media starting pop out, like doing reaction content. And I do feel that they felt insecure about that and they just wanted to, you know, take the high ground as fast as they can. But when they did that, they actually lost all the trust that they had from their actual YouTube audience and everybody else. So I think it's just a miscalculated move, and I do really think that there's no ill intent on this. Maybe if that's the case, like if the word react is copyrighted, that they could do, you could just use other words, you know, to instead of use react to it. But I think the general gist of this was just a very desperate move for them on the end, because they were thinking that they were getting compromised from, you know, from these bigger industries, from traditional medias like late night talk shows and these multi-billion media companies that are starting to know that YouTube exists, that there's money to make there, and they're trying to, you know, put in their assets as early as they can. So don't hate them on them too much, because I could definitely see that. And if you think about it this way, if it wasn't for them, they would have never popularized reaction content the same way we're doing now. By the way, I'm more of a commentary guy to what's happening on the genre as a whole. Like, you guys hate reaction Andys, but you guys love me for some reason. So it's the same thing, okay? And I'm not defending them. I'm just like justifying how it went from the best of my knowledge.
Don't stand for it.
However, when you take a look at the Fine Bros' history, it's hardly surprising that they felt entitled to the genre. The pair had built what you might call a reaction empire, beginning with kids react to viral videos back in 2010.
They just want money.
The series became popular because it took already successful viral content and added further insight into it by having kids provide their own opinion. Yet while this was an incredibly successful formula, going back to their React World drama in 2016, it would also be a point of criticism. They complained about
having their shows and formats blatantly stolen by companies and people, both online and on television.
Yet at the same time, they were blatantly ripping off these viral videos, then collecting the ad revenue by simply having kids react to them.
Oh, these are those guys who complain about licensing, even though they use people's videos unlicensed.
After finding success with Kids React back in 2010, the Fine Bros moved on to Teens React, YouTubers React, and eventually Elders React, at which point they'd find themselves in a brand new controversy. Despite acting as if they started and owned the reaction genre on YouTube, their audience would come to discover that Seniors React had already been done on a channel called Still Cosmo in April 2012, only 1 month prior to the Fine Bros beginning Elders React in May 2012. What was even more infuriating was that despite Still Cosmo having started Seniors React first, the Fine Bros would take down every single one of Still Cosmo's Seniors React videos,
dude, that's a dick move.
Infringement, which didn't sit too well with their fan base. As mentioned previously, I worked for the Fine Brothers. When they took down Seniors React, there was major backlash from the fans. They moved to censor any comment on all of their channels so people didn't know about it. This was par for the course for them, as they looked to control the conversation in regards to anything involving their properties.
Yeah.
And by the Fine Bros acting as if they own the
It's
genre,
money.
people
It's
began to
motivated
dig up
by money.
examples of Bill
It's hard
Cosby
to say,
doing
dude.
Kids React content on television dating all the way back to the 1990s. However, this seemed to have no effect on their perceived ownership of the genre, as they've then gone to call out Ellen DeGeneres, stating that she had also stolen their apparent idea of making reaction videos.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Wow, the Ellen Show just did a kids reacting to old technology. Didn't mention us, didn't do it with us. Not cool. Need you to go to their Facebook page and blast the Kids React links, even if they didn't realize even more important to tell them. Thanks for the help. Here's the link to go leave comments, accompanied by another post of their Twitter reading, ashamed to not have @EllenShow reach out to us versus just fully taking it as their own. This happens too often. Whilst the Fine Bros clearly expected support from their audience, calling out Ellen only gave everyone another excuse to clown on them. At the Fine Bros, at the Ellen Show,
that
welcome
is
to
true,
German
though.
television late 90s to now. You did nothing revolutionary. At the Fine Bros, you don't own the concept. Anyone can do kids reacting, it's fun and enjoyable. At the Fine Bros, at the Ellen Show, Jimmy Kimmel has done react videos with kids too. Reactions cannot be patented, that's silly. This isn't new for them. They've always been extremely aggressive in taking down smaller channels on YouTube, even with remotely similar concepts. Their DMCA claims destroyed any momentum any of their competitors could have possibly built up. Then they do a good job burying any information about them ever having done it and denying doing so. The difference here is that Ellen is too big for them to bully and lay false DMCA claims against, so they had to try and use their audience to do the dirty work for them. They seem to think they're original
that's
when all of their
bad.
success
That's
has
just
come
really
on the
bad.
back of others.
I get the fact that they're trying to, I'm trying. You feel bad for defending them now? No. What I'm trying to say is that, like, I do get their point. Again, they're trying to put their stake in the internet. It's just that they did a very dick move. I don't understand. I don't know if it's this motivated by money. It's hard to say, especially with how copyrighted content is now, with how aggressive content ID is right now at the moment. But like, to be honest, if they actually do the jelly bean thing, they did the jelly bean thing where they're rallying their fans, their viewers, to go attack other people. That's just overall a dick move, bro. That's just a very huge dick move. Like, that is just very, very bad in my opinion. That's just it's the same thing. Like, everybody knows this, that you don't go pitchforking other people in the internet. The only reason you could do that, or the only valid reason you could pitchfork other people, if they're, proven to be bad guys. Let's say, for example, like, they're pedophiles, they're murderers, they're rapists. Like, if they're like, if they committed heinous crimes, then just ban them in the internet, pitchforks, and just hang them. I don't really care, dude. I agree in that statement. I agree in that belief. But like, just because someone stole the concept of the video that you have that isn't even original to you, that's a major dick move, bro. And to be honest, yeah, that's kind of bad, man. I kind of see now how they failed pretty hard on this. And to be honest, like, I don't even feel a shred of, like, did they even do an apology video? I'm not even sure.
Well, this should set a pretty good baseline for why in 2016 their attempt to trademark the word react was completely and utterly ludicrous. In doing so, they'd lose 500,000 subscribers over the course of a week, at which point the pair began to backpedal heavily. The Fine Brothers would release an official statement claiming that they would rescind all of their React trademarks and applications, discontinue the React World program, as well as released all of their past content ID claims, such as the takedown of Still Cosmo Seniors React series. Additionally, the pair would upload an apology video in which they stated that the goal was never to trademark the entire React series on YouTube, and was rather to trademark their very specific reaction style.
We were never trying to say that every video or someone reacts to something else is something we would try to control. When we reference licensing the React format, we only meant our specific series, not the overall genre of reaction videos. We do not own the genre.
However, while the goal of any apology is to mend one's reputation, some clear mistakes can be observed within the Fine Bros video, which would only contribute to their decline. Firstly, they failed to keep their cool and instead responded to the audience with an angry, emotional temperament.
Just because we have or might get trademarks doesn't mean we're going to run around and start taking down videos.
I mean, you just
like
did that,
like
damn
pure
dumbass.
Rage and hatred.
Dumbass just
I feel
did
like
that.
I'm being lectured by my parents about how it was wrong to punch my teacher. LMFAO, how is this an apology? They were literally just yelling at us and acting like we're idiots.
It's like,
I
I'm
forget how
disappointed
pissy they
at
looked
you.
in this. If you're making an apology for doing something shitty, maybe it's not the best idea to be visibly fuming at everyone for having foiled your scheme. Now, it's understandable as to why the pair were a little volatile. They lost 500,000 subscribers in a week and had negative news article after negative news article, which is something that none of us have experienced, so maybe we're not even in a position to comment on this, but cooler heads always prevail. Their emotional response did nothing but display how much the drama had gotten to them, and when you combine this with their massive backpedal of apologizing and promising to throw out the React World program altogether, it displayed this kind of pathetic subservience to their fan base, or simply put, they made it obvious that they cared way too much, which would prove to be the ultimate detriment after the real drama began in mid-2020. In the lead up to this point in time, specifically the 4th of June 2020, the Fine Bros had chosen to involve themselves in the Black Lives Matter movement by uploading a video simply titled "This Is My Story," which contained an introductory message reading, "In support of hashtag Black Lives Matter and the social unrest in America surrounding the killing of George Floyd and countless injustices against people of color, we asked our reactors if they would be willing to share their own stories of being black in America." They did. They're a part of our FBE family.
Nobody, like, I mean, I get it. Like, you want to support, like, in you want to support marginalized group. That's great. That's great. Nobody's like doing that. But the thing is, like, people don't like that. It's like a dick. Like, it's like this is what I always say. Okay, it's like a dick. People, it's nice to have, but it's not nice to flash on other people, and it's not nice to shove at other people's throat. People don't like dicks being shoved at their throats. So, like, again, why? It's the whole the same thing with political correctness. It's the same with SJWs. It's like, dude, nobody really likes that. Like, maybe again, it's nice to portray that you support them. That's great. That's great. But then again, it's like a dick. It's good to have. It's not nice to flash on other people, and it's also not nice to what they call that, to shut down other people's throat, especially if you're viewers and if you came this from, you know, a drama reaction, copyright takedown fail, which the internet, half of the internet hates you for. That is just like a really bad move. Holy shit.
And we want to help amplify their voices. Thank you for listening, the FBE team.
Good thing they're
aligning
gone.
themselves
I mean,
and
I
the
think
entire brand as
there,
allies of the movement.
They're still alive, definitely.
Opting into the game of politics turned out to be an incredibly dumb decision for the Fine Brothers, because only a week after posting the video in support of Black Lives Matter, their audience would dig up a video from 2009 in which Benny Fine had done blackface. In light of this, other black creators from within the company came out stating that rather than being supported, they had actually faced racism while working for the Fine Brothers, one of which discussing their experience in a YouTube video.
So many former staff members and cast members have bravely spoken out and reached out to me privately about how they were mistreated during their time at the company as people of color and or women, and other people who have witnessed their mistreatment.
Articles would then be posted such as this one by Insider, which stated that within Fine Brothers Entertainment, Brooklyn Fenton, a former Reactor Tone employee, said she was told at times that having a reactor with lighter skin on the left of the thumbnail, where viewers would tend to see them first, appeals to the fans. 6 sources told Insider that they were sometimes told to put a person with a lighter skin tone on the left, and several other former employees said publicly on Twitter that this had happened to them. Insider conducted a review of 1,092 thumbnails that included faces of reactors. 31% of the thumbnails showed 2 white reactors, 0.3% showed 2 black reactors. As a result of these allegations, the Fine Brothers would release a classic spineless loser apology.
You can't really do anything when they got the math, man.
FBEs tried to use our platform as a force for good, making videos to speak out against racism, sexism, homophobia, and bullying. But while we incorrectly thought that creating content at our company to help in the fight against many different kinds of discrimination was enough to make amends, it is clear to us that we should have done more. The trap that the Fine Brothers had fallen into was obvious, because it's one that so many other public figures seem to fall into. They thought that just because they had built a business and a following on YouTube, it was now their job or responsibility to enact some kind of historical social change in the world. Why can't you just be a good entertainer and leave it at that? They claimed in their apology that they should have done more in terms of talking about social issues, yet were blind to the reality that they actually talked about it too much. They should have never talked about any of these topics in the first place. Because reality check, you're a channel where people go to laugh at kids reacting to various videos on the internet, and you're not the Mother Teresa Foundation.
By the way.
The ways in which the Fine Brothers were mistreating their employees eventually went deeper after a TikToker named 1 Minute Talk Show would post a video interviewing 2 former members of Kids and Teens React, which stated the following.
Check the numbers, yo. Kids React, Teens React fell off. Fuck the Fine Bros.
Were you on Teens React too? Wait, can you come?
We were just cringed and wouldn't let us speak our mind on a show about speaking our mind. They were on our fucking dick and balls, bro. That shit sucked. We couldn't say nothing.
Let's say that you started to give an answer that was like your real.
It's
opinion.
ingenuine.
Just cut it out the video, honestly. They wouldn't put it in, right? They'd ask questions that were like pointing you towards the direction of a certain answer.
The pair would then go on to discuss one of the most iconic reactors of Kids and Teens React, Leah Marie Johnson.
Well, I had such a huge crush on the blonde one. You know who I'm talking about.
Marie Johnson? She's like in her head stage right now.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Iceberg goes deep.
Because like she'll just randomly go live and like she's in like a house and it's kind of fire, bro.
Yeah.
Referencing her being seen high in countless different Instagram live streams. Leah Marie Johnson, in addition to these guys who appeared to be attending college, showed that reacting for the Fine Brothers didn't exactly lead to Hollywood stardom in the way that they might have expected.
Damn,
it's hardly
that's
surprising either. It's not like they were learning any skills by reacting to videos for the Fine Brothers, which left them with famous
you
faces
could be eloquent
and
with
nothing
your...
else. As a result of all the controversy over a 6-month time period, the Fine Bros went from an average of around 100 million views per month to only 30 million per month before announcing that 17 staff members had been laid off. The Fine Bros would then rebrand themselves from Fine Brothers Entertainment to React, yet this failed to stop their decline in viewership as it tumbled further to around 10 million per month. Competition had simply become too strong in the reaction genre. Every popular streamer was uploading their own reaction content to YouTube, whilst the former CEO
maybe I should get you guys back on the
leave the Fine
stream. Maybe
Brothers
get
to work
chat
with
back
Mr.
on the
Beast,
stream.
who now makes
Yeah,
infinitely
we should
better
do that.
reaction content than the Fine Brothers ever could. In late 2021, the Fine Brothers sold the company to Electric Monster for an undisclosed price, citing that they planned on stepping away to finally spend some quality time with our family, and the two have been silent on all social media since selling the channel.
But like, here's the thing though, when it comes to reaction content is that, in my opinion, reaction content is more of recycled content. As a reaction Andy myself, I think that reaction content is basically just reacting on things and trying to commentate on them, or adding something transformative to them, such as maybe experiences, your take, your expertise, or just maybe like your raw emotions or your raw analysis when it comes to it, okay? That's what makes the reaction content different from just literally just watching a video that just plays on the background and you not commentating and just saying hee hee at like every 3 seconds, like, you know what I mean? But like, in my opinion, like the moment they start censoring their kids react or teens or whatever, like the moment they started censoring those, that was already bad because that was ingenuine already. Like people watch reaction content just for 2 reasons. If they usually want to see your take on a certain topic, or they want to see how that video affects you. And if you're gonna be disingenuous about it, then what's the point of the reaction? You know what I mean? Like if you want to tailor your reactions to like something else, then I think tailor it for like what they call that, for the ad revenue, then that's just bad, dude. That's just ingenuous at all. Like this is why like majority of the biggest React channels right now are very like, they're very like hyper one-sided when it comes to things. You could see them always like on the Republican side, like, you know, very autocratic, very what they call that, very right, and then you can see people who are on the very left, because the people really want to see how, you know, how this crazy person reacts to this kind of stuff, or people would want to see what this doctor thinks of this disease, or this, you know, TikTok trends, like those kind of things. But if you start censoring the actual content that you add into the actual reaction video, then it doesn't become a reaction video. Like this is why you guys constantly telling me that stop pausing the video because we're enjoying the video, and like I still pause it because I still need to make it transformative. Like, yeah, this is the reason why I have to pause a video from time to time and talk about the video and give my inside opinion into it, and then turn the reaction video into a commentary one. It's not because I'm trying to pad the watch hours, but I'm trying to put in my own transformative spin into it. Because if I'm not I'm not putting my transformative spin into it, I'm literally just re-uploading a video, you know, and that's a dick move. And and we all know that we don't like that stuff, okay? But I think the reaction bros, going back to the video, I think the reaction bros did as well as they could. But to be honest, like them copy striking like the people who did like the seniors reacting, that was such a dick move, man. But I think too, by the end of it, like when they were saying that they were trying to specify that they were gonna trademark their style and their format of reaction, then maybe that's understandable, because that's something that you came up yourself and that is pretty unique to you, and you made that format work. So I understand, I get it. But like after that, like going against like the people and like just being an angry parent saying like, oh, I'm disappointed, I'm not mad, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed, it just like backfires in their face pretty hard, even though their intentions were like somewhat not really misplaced. But again, if you ask me, I do think the last part where Sunny said something like the competition is hard is true. Because at the moment, I do reaction videos for you guys, my audience here in Twitch, and those audience who are not able to join the Twitch. Let's move on to the next one before I actually start crying about things on how much trash I am in YouTube.